Hey everyone, before we get into the normal bar talk shenanigans, I just want to thank today's sponsor, and today's episode is brought to you by Whack, the new way of tracking your hours and earnings as well as organizing life around an hourly paid job. Founded by two ex-bartenders from the UK, they know the challenges of working in the hospitality industry. Whack was created for those paid by the hour, typically working unpredictable shift patterns. They want to swap payslip guessing, endless shift notes, and payday panic with a feeling of financial security. And now, since we have a lot of friends in the industry, we've been kind of like, hanging out in Plymouth and showing off the app to some friends. And so just for a little bit of feedback, I brought in my good friend Jack, who's a bar manager in downtown Plymouth. And here's what she has to say about the app.
I've used it, and it's so good. It's got everything. With Whack, I can track my hours and pay down to the second, including any rate changes and tips. I can easily view work schedules, see a live pay slip estimate, and I can store my important work-related documents. I can also see an overview of my bills and spending money between paydays. Oh, and did I mention that Whack is completely free?
So check out the thousands of reviews they have on Google Play and the App Store, and you can download Whack. That's WAC today by checking out the link in this episode's description.
I was at Luciosa's earlier in the night getting dinner, and I met a couple there. They were super, super nice. They're like, we're going to go say hi to Philomena at the BBC. You want to come? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, oh, I have to pay that tab. I got to pay that tab. Okay. So I go in, and like, Phil, I need to pay my tab from last time. And she's like, oh, the girl paid your tab. And it was the girl I had just met like 20 minutes earlier. She's like, I'm going to take her tab and his tab and his tab. And she paid for my tab. And I'm like, I had like 2 beers that night. And she paid for the leftover tab that I had from like weeks before. And I was like, oh God. And then I looked at, I tried to look at the bill, and it was high, but I'm like, I hope it wasn't all me. Cause we were taking shots, and we were there for a while after we recorded. Yeah, well, and that's again, so that's why I'm like, was it high? Because I don't remember. So that lady, she fucking paid for my tab, so I still didn't have to pay my walkout tab. Someone else paid it for me. I was like, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, it's okay. It's nice meeting you. I'm like, no, really, you're paying for way more than what I got tonight. Sorry.
That's the worst feeling in the world. The next morning, you're like, I didn't pay.
Yeah.
And you're
like, especially out here, I text everyone. Hey, did I pay you?
Yep.
Was I terrible?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And everybody knows for the most part. I know so many people that work in so many restaurants, so they'll most likely either have my number or they'll be friends with me on Facebook. Yeah. So if I walk out on a tab, which is very, very rare, they'll always get a hold of me that night.
The times I've walked out on a tab, I was sober. I was at a comedy show, and it's usually in a separate room.
Yep.
You say bye to all the comics. Hey, later, man. See you. Blah, blah, blah.
And you're just kind of
that's
keep
it.
going.
I said hi to everybody.
Yeah.
So you just walk out.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking about your tab. I got all the way home, and I went, oh no!
Fuck.
And I was like, my card's there. I was like, I'll just go in the morning.
Yep.
Right. Well, yeah, and at least your card would be there.
Yeah, exactly. I always leave my card pretty much, but I
think I've done it twice.
Leave your card there. Yeah.
No. No one ever takes my
well, that's
card.
what I'm saying. No one ever takes my card either. They're like, well, we know where you work. We'll just walk across the street with your tab. I'm like, all right, fine.
I was in Jersey, and we were shattered. And it was
so you walked out on a tab? You walked out a few states out.
Fucking ran right to the airport after. It's they'll never catch me.
I'm a man on the run.
We went to the bar at the hotel for one more.
Oh.
And then the next morning, as we were talking on the way home, my buddy was like, you didn't pay that tab? I'm like, I thought you paid that tab. Fuck it.
Well, they probably just charged it to your room anyway, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
You didn't check?
I have no idea.
It's like, yeah,
we
cool,
didn't check.
whatever.
I have no idea what
He's
happened.
like, I can't figure
was
out what's internet porn and fucking
and then I did it once at Lucioso's.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting at the bar and I had a beer or two, and then friends showed up, so I moved to the table. And at the end of the night, everyone got their checks or whatever, and I got my check and paid it. And then,
but then there was one still at the bar,
yeah. Oh shit! Did they combine my tab?
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to call and be like, "Do I still have a tab?"
So the bar I worked at, we used to have, like, for the longest time, we had the paper tabs
Yep.
with the
Woof.
tallies.
Oh, handwritten.
Hell
Handwritten
to the no.
tabs, calculators. That's how they did it forever. It was only
Are you
like
sure you didn't work at the Galway?
it was only like the last year that I was there that we changed to like a POS system. But like other than that, it was all paper. And that would happen a lot. People would be like, "Oh, I didn't have that many," or that whatever. And there was one time where I finally got to confront a guy who had walked out on a tab once
Just give him a
before.
binder of his fucking.
He walked on a tab once before, and I got stuck with it. And then he was in with like his group of friends and family or whatever that they'd come in with all the time. And he was a real weirdo. I hated him. And he went to walk out on it again, and he was with all his friends. And I ran around the bar, and I got out in the parking lot, and I go, "Hey, you're short." And he was like, "What, whatever." And it was in front of everybody. I was like, "You're short $10. And then they just all kind of looked at me, and I went, "Someone's giving me $10."
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Paying me
"Who's it gonna be?"
$10?
And like, but it was just one of those things that like that was the one time where I was like, "Yeah, I'll fight all of you right now. I don't care."
This is the principle.
I was like,
Fight you
"I
for
hate
$10.
this kid," and I'm looking
Yeah.
at the rest of them. I'm like, combined, you weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah.
You guys are nothing to me.
I hate you by fucking
Yeah,
association
yeah,
right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's when I felt like the, badass bartender.
You find the old tough-rotted bat from out there.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Bar Talk. We're like 10 minutes in already.
Yeah, word.
So this is Andy, your host. I'm here with Dan Mahoney of Staps
Sup?
and Jess Hamill, general manager of New World Tavern, where we're recording.
Yay, hello.
And Carl Heine still.
No, he's still
can't
missing.
make it.
He's still on my.
Still-
He's
still-
buying new Balances today.
He's buying. Oh, is that what it is? Is this like
Sure.
a New Balance?
New
like,
Balance day.
Release
I don't know.
day? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's anxiously waiting outside the store.
Once every 2 years.
Yeah.
The dad walkers.
Limited release.
They're off-white this year.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because he threw him in a ditch.
Yeah.
And Joe Buckley, stand-up comic.
Yo.
Not former bartender.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank God I'm not doing it anymore.
Do you ever miss it?
No.
Really?
Nope. I still will go back to the place I worked here and there. My uncle owns it and stuff, and I'll still see a lot of familiar faces.
Sure.
Yep.
Obviously, hey, how you been? When you
Yeah.
coming back?
Never.
And every time I'm like, I'm really happy I'm not doing this thing. I was getting to the point where I was like, I would be resentful that someone ordered something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's when you know it's
Yeah,
time to.
it's time to
You know what I
go.
mean? Like I can't, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to hurt my family's business and be like a dick or anything like that.
Yep.
I could just feel myself like just being annoyed that people walked in.
Walk in
the
the
You
door.
just
door,
see
yeah.
that. Blood
How
goes when
dare
look at
you
it.
ruin my
Yeah.
evening?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of those jobs that I always look at and be like, I think it might be fun. And then I see my friends who are bartenders have like that one customer be like, no, it wouldn't be fun.
Nope.
No.
Well, it's fun. Like every now and then, I'm like, oh, maybe I want to bartend again. And
Yeah.
I look, then I walk behind the bar like to do something, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, there's something to it. Like
Yeah.
you just get like you just
I know.
you end up not liking people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
just a weird thing. And then do you guys work place with Keno?
I never
No,
worked at a
thank
place
God,
with Keno, but man,
I've seen
some
Keno
horror
situations
stories,
where I
yeah.
would fucking strangle a person
Yeah.
with a Keno sheet.
There's some
Yeah.
guys it would be the ongoing joke. Be like, you need a secretary, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got paperwork in front.
Yeah,
of you.
literally.
Like thousands of slips. They be
Yep.
waving in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always
My
like,
numbers came up that last game, but you
Yeah.
didn't put my fucking thing in.
There was
Like,
certain
sorry,
people that
dude.
were really
Like,
cool with it.
Yeah.
There's certain people that are cool, and I knew their numbers. Like I
Right.
punch them in. Like
Yep.
I wouldn't even do a ticket.
Yep.
Like I know what they play.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, and
Yeah.
I punch them in, and I knew I'd get a good tip if they hit. So
Yeah.
I had no problem doing that for them.
Sure, that's different.
Other people,
Yeah.
they want you to put the numbers in, and and if they hit, they're not going to give you anything. So it's like, well, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like you're going like this, waving that fucking ticket in my face. I want to do something, buddy.
It's like if you did that to me in another part of my life, I'd fucking hit you with something.
Exactly. Yeah. No shit.
too, it's last. It's like I
Yeah.
have food
Yeah.
and booze to everybody.
I have all
and
other
you're
things.
last. Keno's
Yeah.
last.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Like
You can go to the gas station and play your fucking numbers.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah. Or the worst is like, be like, Mega Millions, Powerball, quick pick,
Oh my God.
3 across, 50 cents. You're like,
Yeah.
I used
You
to
know.
have to do lottery when I was a kid. I worked at the grocery store.
Oh, really?
oh yeah.
and it was just like, fill out a ticket.
Yeah.
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 We don't-
Well,
we don't-
a
we
lot
don't
of
take
places
verbal
now
bets.
I've
Yeah.
noticed it'll be a sign that says no verbal bets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Although I used to fuck with people frequently.
Oh really?
I'd be like, I put it in wrong. Oh. I'd be like, no, I got that one too.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I guarantee they're like, no, give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah.
Like, especially with the scratch tickets, they'll be like, I'll take you 27. You rip off like 25. I'm like, oh, and you like kind of like, no, I'll take that one too.
That happened a lot. And then the bar I worked at, there was a lot of people that played 1 through 5. That became like kind of a bar thing. Like there was a group of regulars that always played that thing. So when it came in, it'd be like, oh, who do you pay?
Yeah.
People like, no, you paid them last time. I didn't get it on the one by last time, and I had to go to Shaw's or I had to. So we'd always have to keep a solid roll in there, like in the back, just to make sure. Because if it did hit, like 3 people hit.
That's something I didn't even think of too.
Yeah. I like playing Keno, but I would never want to have Keno here. It's just too much of a pain in the ass.
So my favorite Keno story ever is my father used to play all the time. And he had 2 numbers that he played. One was 12 something. One was 72, 73, 77. And he hit
so if everybody listening, play those numbers.
Yeah, please do. And he would hit frequently on them. But one day I'm like, why do you play 72, 73, 77? And he's like, oh, it's when all you kids were born. And I'm like, first of all, I was born in 75. Second of all, there's only 2 of us.
Well,
Where's it coming from?
I've been waiting to tell you about your secret, brother.
That's funny.
So, question and answers.
Yes.
That was the plan for this one. Zach Howe, QR codes versus physical menu.
Oh, God,
pros
here we go.
and cons.
Here we go. Please refer to episode number blah, blah, blah for that answer.
Any episode Carl's on.
Yeah, seriously.
Carl does not like them.
Yeah. I don't dislike them. I just... you just get so many people that are over the QR code thing because of COVID that they're like, just give me a fucking menu. Or there'll be like, older people that don't know how to use their phone, like Carl Heine. And... and they just like, can you help me with this? And I'm like, I don't have time to help you with this. We do QR codes on our draft list we have the Guinness printing machine. So like on the draft list, it'll say, if you want a picture printed on top of your Guinness, scan this QR code. It'll bring you to the app. Just let us know. That's different because it's kind of like
too much work for me.
Well, because it's kind of like you if you want to do it, you can do it. There's not really a necessity to scan the code. But I don't know. In the restaurant, I don't really care.
I don't care, but the likelihood of me going through your menu like decreases exponentially with the QR code. I'm like, I found one thing. I'm done. I'm done scrolling through pages and shit, back and forth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I was just somewhere recently, and they had them like printed out, but they were like super, super faded, or like one little tiny box was scratched out over in the corner somewhere, and it wouldn't let me scan.
Yep.
And so I'd be like, can I have another one? And they're like, fine. And then they'd give me another one, and then that one and scan. I'm like, well, this now is not my problem. Like, I'm trying actively to scan, and your fucking QR codes are shit, so I don't know what to tell you. That was like a few weeks ago. I was like, I'm getting frustrated. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I just told you guys we were on paper tabs up.
Right,
until
You're hand drawing.
Not happening.
Yeah, he's hand drawing a QR code. Like,
I don't know. I really like them.
I know you do, because you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, you're wearing a fucking Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt. Of course you like them.
I am. But no, because like then I don't even have to necessarily like wait for the server. I can kind of like sit, mostly, just pull it up immediately.
But then there's the other problem, like people, especially at a place
with an 8-sided die. Trying to decide what he's going to order.
I have to roll a 10 so I can get the buffalo chicken.
I'm sure at a place with a bar isn't that bad, but a place with a table is like having a menu in front of you knows that those people have been sat and that they've been paid attention to.
Yeah.
But like if somebody seats themselves and like there's nothing in front of them, you know that you have to go over to them and be like, hey, you saw it yourself. Here's
that is a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a really good point.
So, like, but if somebody sits there and, like, they sat themselves and you're waiting for them to scan a QR code, you're like, okay, I don't have to go to them right now. They're going to scan whatever. They're on their phone. And then, like, where's the service? And I'm like, oh, sorry, you sat yourself. Like, you're not fucking supposed to. You just walked right by the hostess, like, and a sign that says, please wait to be seated. Like, and it's my fault that I haven't waited on you yet?
Some places have signs that say, please seat yourself.
I know. Well, then that sounds like a QR code friendly place.
But you can think of like the clusterfuck of a shift change, like
It's a really good point. That kind of like that visual, like they're at this point.
They're here. They're new.
Menu now, and I wish to order something.
Yeah. So that's
All
kind
right,
of
see,
like,
now I'm back on board.
Yeah, because
See?
I felt like that.
You're
as a
welcome.
customer. Like I've done it, and I don't hate it. Like scan the QR
Yeah.
code, whatever. But then I'm like, how are they gonna know?
how do I let them know I'm ready?
What, am I
Yeah.
gonna put my phone down? That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, no one
I don't
puts
want
their
to
phone
start
down
waving.
anymore.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
Because if you like go like this and turn it over, and you're not looking at your phone, people are gonna think you're weirdo. So
Yep.
I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah.
And I hate, working. I hate doing the flag down thing.
Yeah. Yep.
There's nothing more.
A lot of people
satisfying-
don't hate that, and they do
nothing
it.
more satisfying as a bartender than when there's someone
yeah.
down the bar and all you do is just give them a little nod or a little eye contact, and they give you the nod back, and that's it. There's nothing better than that.
Yep.
If you had all customers like that, bartender would be shit.
Yeah. You go back.
I would work in a heartbeat if no one spoke to me.
You know what?
I just want to be able to point at you and
Yeah,
give me a thumbs
like,
up, and
yep.
I'll give you something. That's it.
Everyone knows what this means. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's even more gratifying is when somebody waves you down and then you
And
just
you fucking
stare at them
give
and you
them the
wave them
finger.
right back at
Oh,
them.
I
You're
love
like,
doing that.
Hi! And they're like, can I get and I just keep walking. Like, I'll get to you when
I'm just a
get to you.
greeter, sorry.
You're one of them.
I'm a waver. I wave back. You want to wave at me? I'm going to wave at you. You want to like point your finger at me? I'm going to point it right back at you.
Yeah.
I'm Simon Says over here.
I had to have told you about the Luciosa's hand raiser.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I believe you did,
Did I
yes.
hear that story?
I don't know. I don't listen when you talk.
I was there one day, and this girl literally had her hand raised, like, in school.
Like she was in class?
And
Yeah.
everyone was just fucking ignoring her completely, which is amazing. And of course, it's, like, a night where it's packed. Mm-hmm. And so finally they get around, to the point where they're like, all right, we can't.
Ignore her
Everyone
anymore.
has drinks. We have to address this girl. And so then, like, the night progresses. My beer, like, empties out, and, like, slowly raising my hand. Like, hey, put your fucking hand down. Like, no,
Sorry.
I just thought, because,
Yeah.
I've had like the hand raiser and I just walked up and gave him a high five. Like, that's what you
That's
wanted.
going to be my new one. Oh, I can't wait.
You're at Stats?
Yeah.
Stats gets busy.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you almost, like, it gets so packed, you almost have to be like if you're fighting, like,
Yeah.
4 people.
yeah. Like,
But there's a difference between an acknowledgement and like a wave or like
Yeah.
something that's just blatantly rude.
I just do, like, if I'm at a bar, I do a quick, like, tippy toe. I just get my head level above it. I just go, like that. And then when someone goes, what was that? And you're like,
yeah.
give them a little eyebrow raise.
Subtle
You just need a
motion.
little
That's
tippy
it.
toe.
Yeah.
the sign language of bartending. Yeah.
Or, like, you also watch to see, like, if the bartender never makes it past a certain point.
Right.
Fucking move. Like, just get a couple
Yeah.
steps to the side.
Yep.
And get into that.
If you can get near the service station, that's where you want to be at.
Oh, don't tell them that.
Not at the service
No,
station.
yeah,
Next
don't
to the
tell them
service
that.
station.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying if you want to drink,
Yep.
that's what you need to do. You need to
Well, it's funny. People
I
don't
hate
realize
that.
too. So, like, if you're in a busy bar like Stats
Or the Taps.
even like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
you can get a
I'll take
drink
that
through a
one.
waitress. Like, have
Yeah.
a cocktail. You're gonna get that shit so much faster than waiting
Yeah.
through 10
Yeah.
deep people. Like, and just pay them out. I think we were out for one of the Celtics playoff games, and we just like had
Yeah.
Hurricanes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we literally, this one of the waitresses walking. I'm like, hey, will you get us drinks? She's like, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then she got us a table. We skipped the whole fucking line, all that.
Yeah.
And
That's like, dude, I forget, I was at some club, like when I was 22 or something like that, and we're waiting. And then there's this, a busboy dude with the bucket, and he's just back there. I go, can you grab us beers? And he goes, no, I'm not allowed. I'm not, I'm not.
Yep.
He's like an 18-year-old kid. And I was like, dude, you're there. We just want a bottle of beer, and you
Yeah.
open it, and then I'll give you cash. That's all you got to do. And
Yep.
he was
You
like,
pass that cash off to someone else.
Oh, okay. I'm like, this. So 2 Coors Lights, 2 Bud Lights. That's it. And he was like, okay, and he did it. And I was like, why was that so hard?
yeah.
You know what I mean? But then his look on his face, I can't.
Because you probably scared the kids shitless.
I can't possibly open a beer. Come on.
The kid's probably like, oh my god, I'm not invisible. And just for the record, my birthday cake was a D20. So you guys can go fuck yourself.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I know, what just happened.
An 8-sided dice.
Well, they're on your
Looking
shirt.
at 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what are they?
What happened?
D20s.
What's that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I
Now we
did
know.
see. Okay.
1-sided die.
Oh, all right.
I thought you meant like
Super
Eminem started a new rap
cool.
band. So he's got 8 more friends. That's where I went with that, Andy.
Thanks, man. Paul Sangerman. If someone orders a soda water with a lime, should they be charged? I feel like we get this one.
Soda water,
Once.
no. Tonic water, yes. Because tonic water you have to buy. Like, tonic water is a bagged thing. Soda water, Well, no, I guess you would charge for soda water too.
Yeah.
Depends if I hate you.
I was just about
True.
to say the same.
Yeah.
If you order a soda water, but you also ordered like a round for your table
Yes.
or something like that,
Yeah.
then I'm not going to charge you.
Yeah.
But if you came up, just ordered a soda water and you didn't get food or whatever, I'd charge you for the soda and then you get the free refill. Like
Exactly. Yeah. If you're taking up my seat and that's all you're
Yeah,
getting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if
Yeah.
that person that clearly is the designated driver, you're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a.
If you're with a
shitty
big
night.
group, but if you're with a big group that's ordering a lot of shit, I'm not going to do that.
Unless
Probably not
I fucking hate you, then it doesn't matter what you order.
Yeah. No, usually, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, charge for soda water. Someone's going to pay for that lime that's
They
garnishing
don't
it,
grow on
right?
trees, do they?
Right? Limes do grow on trees, right?
Yeah.
Lime trees?
That's why I was meant to.
Yes.
Whatever, D20.
There.
I don't even know what that means.
Peruse.
Oh, God.
Trion.
Oh, that's
Yes,
his
love
fucking
it.
Dungeons and Dragons elf
Yeah.
name.
Let's see. I need help with the cocktail name.
Oh, God, here we go.
1821
Wait, what?
watermelon mint bitters.
What's happening? I lost you at.
It's rum.
Okay.
Okay.
This is 1821.
Don't know what that is.
Isn't that Don Julio? The Don
No, it's
Julio?
1942.
1842.
1800.
That's what, yeah. Did you just
Yeah.
combine some stuff?
Watermelon mint bitters.
Okay.
What?
Fucking horrible.
What is
No
happening?
way. That'd be.
With some lime and mint. It's like watermelon mojito,
So then call it
but
that.
not as bright. It's more complex. Yeah, I feel like
No, it's not. It's
No,
literally the
wait.
same
What is
fucking
happening?
thing.
I'm stuck on the 1872.
Look it up, Jess. What is it?
What is it?
That's going to change my whole outlook on
1821.
this drink.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Please hold. I was going to say, do I get to make another drink again? Because we did that last time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we called it the car accident or the train
It
wreck
was
or something
not
because I
good.
couldn't
Yeah.
stop drinking it even though it was
I
fucking
think it was the
gross.
car accident, yeah. The car wreck.
So they say
Yeah.
it's more complex because the bitters are made like kombucha.
1821.
1821 watermelon mint bitters, I think is what.
Oh, is that like one long? Is
I
that
think
one
so.
thing?
There's no punctuation, but there's frequently no punctuation in these things.
Watermelon mint bitters.
But it's made like kombucha?
It says
So
they
does
don't
it
they don't want to
taste-
confuse people and have them expect a
So then,
traditional.
here we go. Oh, it's a shrub. So that's why it's like a kombucha.
Um,
A shrub
call it the
is
fucking asshole because you just made us think
it's
about
vinegary.
it too long.
It's vinegary. That's why it's like kombucha. Is
That
because it's like a
sounds
vinegary.
awful now.
That does
I
sound
take it
terrible.
back.
It does not.
I was on board for the watermelon.
Watermelon mint
because-
shrub. So
Let's call it the sorority girl or
Yeah.
something stupid. That's
Delta Beta Chi or whatever. Yeah. So
Toilet wine.
it's rum. That stupid ass bitters with what else?
Lime and mint.
Lime and mint.
what's the booze?
The rum.
The rum.
Rum. Okay.
So it's literally a mojito with fucking kombucha.
Yeah.
But and this is the thing is like people are gonna be like, regardless of what you name it, they're gonna be like, what is this
Alright,
like?
Call it the Cumhito.
No, the rum.
Kombucha and mojito.
Rumbucha.
Yeah. What are
I
that-
like kombucha.
What are those
better.
Cuban like fedora hats called? Whatever the fedora hats like Cuban guys wear. They're not fedoras, but they look like it. That's whatever that name is. That's what you call it. It's the fucking hipster Cuban.
But I mean, you're gonna be
Sir
explaining it
Cuban.
as some sort of mojito.
Komhito.
Yeah.
Trademark it.
All right. Trademark.
I like it. Yeah.
Mojito ho.
Yeah.
Jessica Allen just got promoted to a manager position of a sports dive bar in a small town. I'm excited, but would like any advice you are willing to give. I want to be the best damn manager there is to be.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's stop you right there.
Right. Yeah.
That's your first mistake because everyone's gonna hate you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best manager. Okay.
Don't let everybody walk all over you. Because if you're being promoted, that means you probably were a bartender at some point.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
a server. And people
Or
you
busboy.
probably know may or may not take you seriously as a new manager. So there's a fine line between still trying to be that friendly person that you've been for so long with your coworkers and actually now doing a more responsible job. But don't let people walk all over you. That would be my advice. Because I've done that. I've done the, transition from a server, bartender to a manager in the same place.
Yep.
And they're like, well, before you used to let me da-da-da. Yeah, well, before I didn't give a fuck.
Or before
Yeah.
you
Right.
used to do that.
Yeah, and you're like, you're right, but I was wrong. and I got
You're
nothing
right,
for
but I
you,
was better at it than you are, so that's why I'm in charge now.
But I got away with it, and you didn't.
Right, yeah. So therefore, I'm better than you. And I got promoted. What does that tell you?
I'm a big fan of gaslighting, so use that.
Yeah.
Where I worked, it was my uncle's place, so it was weird. So I was kind of in a manager role in the sense that, like, he'd be like, "Hey, you got to let me know if someone's not up to snuff. You got to tell me if they."
Yep.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
Don't put me in that position, please. Like, I mean, like, I want to, and I had a good rapport with everybody that was working there, but I knew there was certain things that they wouldn't tell me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I knew that going into it, but I also knew there wwas certain things that they tell me that they wouldn't tell another manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hoping that I would let it get back to them. But I felt what they were, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you have to, I know this is going to sound kind of like douchey, but when you want to be a good manager, I think you got to, like, keep the talent happy and close. In the sense that, like, if a bartender comes to you and says, like, hey, this is really kind of, like, fucking with me or whatever. It could be anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to at least, like, hear it out.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, that's...
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we can
Yeah.
do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Even if it's total bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
gonna
if you know there's
make them
nothing
feel
you
heard.
can do.
Yeah.
You go, yeah. And
Yeah.
then you come back to them and you let them down that they're just, going to have to figure that out.
They dumb.
And you don't have to come right out of the gate being like Mr. Manager either.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because people will do that all the time. Be like, all right, I gotta, like, it's kind of the opposite of don't let people walk all over you. Don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
be in the
also-
middle.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, you got to fall on a sword every now and then.
Yeah.
When you're
Yep.
a manager, dude, that's
Yep.
your job.
That's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
the shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to take that, and then that, you know what, that at least will give, whoever's working for you,
Yeah.
be like, all right, at least they went to bat for me when this
yeah.
happened.
Yep. Oh,
You
yeah.
know.
Always stand up for yourself.
You're in a good position because you came from a person that was just being managed, so you
Yeah.
know what worked for you.
Right.
Kind of use that insight
Yeah.
to help
And
you.
you got to kind of pick your battles too.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows there's like specific rules. Like I'm gonna say your cell phone.
Right.
Sure, every restaurant has a no cell phone or don't use your cell phone policy or whatever.
Yeah.
Smoke breaks.
Right. But
Yeah.
it's also one of those like, if it's slow, are you gonna like nitpick the guy using a cell phone when it's slow?
Right. Right.
My rule was always like try to hide it. Like if you're trying to hide like sneaking on your cell phone
Yeah,
or whatever,
Yeah.
then I can be like, I'm gonna pretend like you're actually hiding it, and I don't see it.
Don't walk out
It's-
into the middle of the
It's the
fucking
guy
floor.
on your
Oh, God.
flagrant where I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make an effort to hide, and I know it's not a big deal, I'm gonna let it slide.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, people would, that was a pet peeve of mine was people like taking smoke breaks. I'm like, I'm gonna start smoking because I don't have to work.
I used to take them. I'm like, I don't smoke, but why the fuck do you get to go?
Yeah, all the time. I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna start smoking butts
Take
so
an
I can
air
just come
break,
out here
yeah.
for 20 minutes apiece for 7
Right.
times.
Yeah.
a day.
Yep.
It's like, how often are you guys back in and working? And we're getting crushed.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
The trick is you bum one cigarette and you just never light it.
Yeah.
You just gotta stand
back
outside and
on
hold
it,
it for a while.
Just carry an empty pack. Oh, sorry, I smoked my
I
last
just ran
one.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Eddie All. What's everyone's worst battle scar, aka injuries from work? In case you don't know what battle scar means.
Oh. Injury from work. Huh. I don't ever think I've had an injury from work.
I've like fucked my
Like an
shoulder up.
injury,
Well, I
like-
hurt my back, but like nothing like that.
Right.
You can see.
Cut on my hand.
Right.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
have glass.
Yeah, I
I
got a
feel
couple
like-
of scars on my fingers from stabbing
Yeah.
myself cutting limes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's you get
Or-
more.
I feel like that's a Jordan question.
Well, yeah, true. But I feel like that's like a kitchen person question too.
I mean, I
like,
slipped in the kitchen and fell, popped back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
There was no injury
pop
there.
it back up.
My
keep
scars
going.
are all emotional, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
internal damage there.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
had-
like burns or anything, that'd be more of
Oh,
a kitchen,
yeah.
like
I
a
did
kitchen
that.
thing.
Yep.
Like
I did
had a
that.
kid who, he was making like the flour tortilla bowls for chili, and he like he put it the tortilla in, and he had like something to push it down to make it in a bowl shape. Wasn't paying attention and was lifted away. It bubbled up so bad it exploded, and all this grease got all over his arm.
Yep.
And like he had like straight up 3rd-degree burns, like super bubbled, and he just fucking wrapped it up in a bandage. He's like, "Nope, I'm good." I'm like, "You need to go to the hospital." Like,
You gonna be okay?
right? Yeah. And then we've had people that blow their friggin' their eyebrows off with lighting. Do you
151
remember that?
shots?
No. The pilot went out in the pizza oven, and he went to go light it back up with a a lighter and it fucking blew in his face.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So those are.
At what point do you kind of like, where the kid's like, no, I'm fine, just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like, what point do you like, no, you're gonna go see something?
If it makes you physically ill,
If it makes you
looking
physically
at them, then they gotta go.
I mean, that kid
Depends how
was
busy you are, though,
that
too,
kid
you know?
was a trooper. He was also like a assistant kitchen manager, so maybe he felt like he needed to like. I don't know, but I was like, no, you need to go to the hospital.
yeah.
He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. But I haven't had any injuries. I know people who've dropped kegs on their toes
done that
and broken toes.
didn't break my toe. Smash your fingers and stuff. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Everything heals,
I
whatever.
smashed my finger with a hammer the other day trying to change the gas on the keg line.
Why were you using a hammer?
Because it was too tight. The thing was too tight, and I had the vice grips, and I couldn't get it. Whatever. It's just
I don't know
I'm
about
a weak,
injuries, but there's
I'm a
nothing
weak
better
link.
than going back on the security footage and looking.
Oh
at
yeah.
someone eating it. Yeah. Those
Yeah,
are fun.
no,
I've
I
written down the time before. Like I've had a bartender like that I was working with, and she fell, and a glass went flying, and water everywhere, and
Yep.
I was like, "What time?"
Let's watch that over again and again and again.
I'm gonna go back tonight.
So I have all our cameras on our phone. I'm like, ooh, I can go back right now. And watch
Oh
this.
yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't. No, I guess so. None of us have had our own experiences, right?
All right.
No, all right. Well, I guess we're lucky.
And now you're all gonna get hurt.
I know. Fuck.
Justin Murphy, apparently ghosting is a new job interview.
Oh yeah.
I spent hours booking appointments only to find no one shows up or calls to follow through. Any advice, particularly for kitchen help?
In my experience, most of the time it's because they have to, and this is, I don't know how it is in each state, but in Massachusetts, you have to at least show that you're actively trying to find a job if you're on unemployment.
Yes.
So if you say, hey, well, I applied to this place, they didn't hire me, then they can continue to collect unemployment.
Yeah.
So I think that's still the same way. I haven't had any issues as of late, knock on wood, but that was a huge problem when things were like big with unemployment.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure.
Schedule 1 million of them, and then maybe 2 show up. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
That's
that's
literally all you
Play a
can do.
numbers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case, you have a bunch of people you need.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any solution to that. 'Cause
There really isn't, because
That's
you
not
can't.
what's been the way.
You can't do it. You really can't do anything
There's
about
nothing
it.
more true than good help is hard to find.
It
Yep.
really,
Just,
it really is.
Crystal Yates, what do you all do when servers don't make sure the credit card receipt is signed? Do you allow them to keep the gratuity?
I haven't looked at that shit.
Yes. I'm trying to think the last time that
I was
ever
gonna say,
happened to
that's
me.
a great answer for a
Well, no,
podcast.
I'm just trying to.
No,
I'm
that's-
trying to think that
fine.
that's really the last time that's ever happened. But the answer is yes. If they filled it out, like if they filled out like the tip and the total,
Yeah.
and there's just no signature, then yeah, because they filled it out.
Right.
They meant to do that. I guess where it could get complicated is if someone's stealing, like the server is writing it in themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they didn't sign it. I'm gonna, which I've unfortunately had that happen in one of my restaurants. But what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna call back and say, hey, I didn't authorize this, and then you just have to give, the $5 back or whatever it is. Like, that's, I guess that's the worst case scenario.
But I mean, credit cards are so... Because I mean, they're credit cards and debit cards. I mean, they're so universal now
Yeah.
that I hate to say it, but your signature doesn't mean a fucking thing
I know.
at,
at
all.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I mean, there's
Well,
places...
it's like merchant copy, customer copy.
Yeah, it doesn't
Which
matter.
one
Yeah.
do you want? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
As long
care.
as you
Either
sign it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
when I worked at a grocery store, I'd be like, there was supposed to be a credit card, and this is at the point when like people were just starting to use like cards for stuff like that, where people be like, I can't believe they're gonna use a credit card for their groceries.
What is this, in 1862?
Yeah, go fuck yourself, all right. But I'd be like, there's no credit card receipt in here for this transaction. They'd be like, so print out another one.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, but it's not signed. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. First of all, they need to call back and be like, this is wrong for you even to
Right.
start to matter.
Right.
If you lose a receipt,
Yeah.
That, like she was saying, like if you lose something,
Yeah.
like, we're missing number 72, and you're like trying
Yeah,
to
that you just have to
find
eat.
it. You're
Like,
all right,
$0,
I don't know what they
it's
put on there
missing.
for a
Yeah.
tip. I'm not going to take it. Oh, they
Yeah.
always tip 10.
Yeah,
You
that
want
Doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Nah,
Then if they always come in and tip 10, then let them know, hey, last time, just so you know, we didn't get your credit card slip. And if they're regulars enough, they'll be happy to give you 10.
And you know what? I wouldn't even go that far. I'd
Right.
probably just be like, we lost the slip, guys.
Right.
That
Yeah,
happens.
Yeah, yep.
Done.
Shit
Where
happens.
you at?
Right.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. But it also depends on, like, the restaurant, if that's a policy.
Yeah.
So if that's that restaurant's policy where it has to be signed in order to accept the tip of any kind, then you just have to eat it.
And part of it is like, if you looked at it and the tip was, 20-25% normal.
Yeah.
If the tip was 400%, I'd be like, yeah, you're not getting that tip.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, well,
You know?
I guess that's another conversation. But also, like, I guess a lot, if this is like it sounds like this is like a common server problem.
Yeah.
So, like, 9 times out of 10, when you're collecting the bill off of the table when they've paid, they're gone. So what can you do after that?
Yeah.
It's not the server's fault.
Yeah.
That they didn't notice that it wasn't signed, so therefore you may or may not be able to keep the tip. But, like, you just have to,
Hypothetically, even if you make that your policy, being like, oh, we can't tip you out unless this is signed, that's just going to encourage your server to be like, Steve Manford.
Yeah.
You could scribble it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That comes down to being a cool manager.
I don't know if
Scribble on it. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Take it.
If you've read anything that I've ever signed, you
Yeah.
can't read it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Crystal Moody. So, how do you talk to someone about wearing proper undergarments on the top area in a family restaurant?
Oh, someone's showing too much cleavage this time. I'm out. I can't answer this question.
No such thing. as too
Yeah.
much
Do you
clean.
feel attacked?
I feel embraced. Okay, so basically, just how to tell people that you need to dress appropriately.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're a fancy restaurant where they can't show cleavage, which I'm never going to go to that place. Then
E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's definitely not Hooters we're talking about. Yeah, they should have a dress code.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think it's
They'd have a uniform like dress code.
It would have
So-
to be like a written dress code. And
Right.
It's just a super awkward conversation, especially
is.
if you're a
Male
male
talking to a
manager.
female.
Yeah.
I used to get passed off on that all the time. My male managers at my other jobs would always be like, Jess, can you talk to so-and-so? But I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And I would just say, hey, look, I love the outfit. Looks great. You look like you put yourself together. I care that you care. But maybe just go from like a here to a here, maybe? Like and do it just in a way to make them feel like they didn't do something wrong.
you just let them wait on all the dad tables. That's
Yes.
all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
As guy bartenders, your job is to be like on the spot.
Yeah.
Because you have to make up for what you don't have.
Exactly.
So you just have to be. And it's true, dude.
No, I
talk
get
to-
it.
Yeah, you talk to guys about sports, gambling, or whatever, and then you get people drinks as soon as they fucking need them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's up to
Yep.
her to be the flirty. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God, they're so
Yep.
funny.
My boyfriend's
and
a-
you just keep them there to
Yep.
make us more money.
My boyfriend's
Yeah.
a bartender,
Yeah.
and he used to work with 2 very, very pretty girls. And he knew. He's like, I'm just going to be the one that's running behind them
Yeah,
and
100%.
getting everybody else drinks while they're flirting and getting a bigger tip from that one person than the 4 other people I'm going to wait behind them. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I get it. He's like,
Yeah, sharing the money. I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
that's
And,
fantastic.
Yeah.
and he's a ginger, and women love gingers. So,
When you when you go to ask, like, it would be like a group of guys, you'd be like, you guys, you want another one? No, another round? I don't know.
Yeah, they wait
whatever.
for the-
They do
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And I one girl I was working with, I'm like, go ask them if they want another drink.
Yeah. They're
Well,
waiting for you.
You go ask it, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you guys want another one? Yeah, we're waiting for another one.
Absolutely.
That's funny. You
Yep.
said yes to her and no to me. You know?
Yeah.
We
My
just
buddy
figure
used
that
to
out.
be a bartender at Fridays, and everyone hated. So there's like the regular bartenders, and there was service bar.
Oh,
The
yeah.
whole rest, and he, like every time he would log in, he'd be like, "I'm on service bar. Go make
Yep,
us
go
tips."
make money.
Yeah.
Yep,
You
go
know,
make us money.
100%.
Yep.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with the customers, and I'm gonna get way more tips just based on.
What's good when you have a good tandem? Like, it should always be a guy and a girl, depending on
I
the
think
bar.
so.
Yeah.
And because, like, I'll take the guys or the girls, and you take the guys.
Yep,
Or it
absolutely.
depends on the bar.
Yeah.
Right, then it goes the other way.
Right.
But to answer that question, you just have to do it in a nice way. You just
Yeah.
have to say, you look great. Love the outfit, but
And if you're
maybe
a dude, don't do it one-on-one.
Absolutely not.
Have a female there.
Yeah.
If that's possible too, I wonder if there's a scenario where it's only males. Then maybe you can, like male managers, then maybe you can ask a server who's like a veteran server.
Don't
then
do it
you
with the
can,
office door closed.
Yeah, don't lock the door. Don't put on
do it with the
Barry
office door
White,
closed
and
and
don't
have
light
two
any
guys.
candles.
Yeah. To make her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And shut the lights off.
Don't make it look like the casting couch. Yeah.
First and foremost, I think you look great.
Yeah. Really,
Like what you got
great.
going on here.
I like what you're wearing.
Yeah. You know.
I love how much cleavage you're showing.
I think you should show more.
Love it.
Let's see. Joshua Slowinski, do you charge for splitting a plate?
There's some places I've known that have done that, but split a plate. So, like, if you order a burger and you're like, can you split that burger for me so that me and my husband can, whatever, have their own plate? I have heard of a split plates charge.
Yeah.
Really?
We just don't split plates.
I was gonna say I've never even.
I'm trying to think
like,
of
I know
where.
people that do that, but not like.
I'm trying to think where that would be, though. Maybe like
Yeah.
a really fancy restaurant that's like where they feel like they're losing
Yeah.
that much money by not having somebody order another plate. But I've definitely heard of it. I don't think I've ever been to a place that's done
Not that
it.
I can think of, at least.
'Cause I just don't feel like where you would incur really any additional costs other than cleaning.
Yeah. Well, I get
It's to
it's
keep
more about
You
what you're
from,
losing.
like ordering like one thing for like 5 people.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a really fancy fine dining restaurant, that's maybe where a place that you would have a split. Oh, of course, the Galway. First of all, what plates are they splitting other than the bags of chips that are hanging on the wall? Can you
that
split
comes
that
down
chip
to,
bag
like,
for me?
Want a plate?
Yeah.
That comes down to like capacity and like bang for your buck type scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait a minute, it's splitting this or whatever. Like we
Yeah.
used to do half price apps for I think it was like Wednesdays, and it was like a heroes thing. So it was like firefighters, cops, teachers.
Oh,
I
cool.
think that was it. It was like a half price thing. Well, what they started doing was they'd bring their whole family in and they'd order all the things. So they're like, all right, now we have to limit it
Yeah.
to how much you can
Yep.
order for yourself to get the half price out. And then it turned into
That's
such a
kinda
thing.
douchey, yeah.
Then it turned into such a thing that we had to scrap the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it was just like, now you guys are doing it like, oh, let's bring my whole family, and then I'll order 7 orders of buffalo tenders.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it for at and a half of that. It's like, well, that's now we're getting into weird
Yeah.
territory.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that same thing happened at T-Bone's for a while, where like it was the half price ads were only at the bar, and so if a regular were to come in and there's no bar seats, and then they would, oh, dude, I hear you. And they would sit at the table and they'd be like, well, I normally sit at the bar, but there's no bar seats, so why can't I get the half price apps at the bar? And then like you'd be like, because that's just if I have to do it for you, I have to do it for everybody scenario.
Show up early.
And then or just stand at the bar and order your food and your drink and wait for somebody
Yeah.
to leave. Like someone's eventually gonna leave. Like so like yeah, like
With
way
the
to
amount of
have everybody
people-
ruin the good stuff
Exactly.
going on.
Yeah.
The amount of people
I don't
that
know what
get
you
baffled
did,
about.
but you just pushed Joe's button to the point where I'm
No,
like, oh, I can't wait to see what he
because-
has.
I worked where I worked. We had the best deal, period, with a Patriots game. It was dollar cheese pizzas, 25-cent wings, that everything, like dollar sliders on stuff, right?
Holy shit.
And it was dine-in only. Purchase of a beverage. How hard is that? People would take one slice of pizza. Can I tell you this to go? No, you can't.
Yep.
You can't.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. Like, why do I have to argue with you, stupid fucking? You're so dumb. You're so dumb. It's a dollar cheese pizza. You're going to take a slice and then put it into go box. You don't think we thought that people would do that?
Yeah.
Like, no. You need to purchase a drink, blah, blah, blah. And you'd have to purchase a drink first before you order
Yeah.
the food.
Yep.
And people would be like, what?
Yeah.
No, I just want a pizza. No. Read it.
You gotta
Read
be
the thing.
paying full price.
Like, you actually think we would do that?
Yeah.
We would really just give away food?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, yeah, and same thing. Like same thing at T-Bone's. They would be 2 people coming in and they'd order like one of everything off the menu, and they'd be like, "Can I get a bunch of to go boxes?" And we'd have to tell. It got to a point where we had to tell them no.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're telling me I can't take my food home that I paid for and ordered?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." Actually, because you've been here for 20 minutes, you ordered all your food, you got 1 round of drinks. The whole point for you to come in for the food is to buy more drinks.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
Yes.
now like no, absolutely not. So
We
then
would
we
do
had to do
dollar
like a wicked
sausages.
we had to do a wicked
So
strict.
you get like this disclaimer where like it has to be ordered here on premise.
Yep.
Eaten on premise.
Literally, like
The rules
all
are longer than the menu.
asterisks, Yeah, literally, like the rules are longer than the items on the actual menu. Yeah.
There's no decency of people to think, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right, this deal is probably because they want me to,
Hang out, have a couple drinks.
Yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Okay, so this is Sally Ortlieb. Question for you all. My manager is a bad alcoholic. That's a great start. Very recently fell and had a head injury. I do not intend on serving him anything alcoholic until he's completely healed.
Okay.
Why are you serving your manager?
Gets down with his shit.
I feel it would be irresponsible of me and dangerous for him. Any input would be appreciated.
Listen, do you want his job? Keep serving.
I said mine. Oh, yeah.
Do you like him as a manager? No? Fucking. Just start spiking his waters.
Are you looking for an opportunity to move up the ladder?
Yeah.
And I suggest...
Do you need some new blood?
Go back and listen to what you need to do to be the world's best manager.
It starts with taking out your current manager.
So is there if there's an owner involved and you feel like it's literally that big of a problem where you feel like you can't serve your manager,
Well,
then talk to the owner.
Working well, fucking getting wasted and falling on his fucking face. Because then there's a whole other problem you probably have.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
Send
somebody
John
else
Tapper in.
that person can go talk to if it's such a big problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was me and I was the alcoholic manager, which that's debatable. Then someone would go to Carl and be like, "Look, I don't feel comfortable serving her. This is a problem. I need someone to fix this, and for her sake, for your sake, for whatever." And that kind of maybe feels weird, like because you normally wouldn't go above your manager to somebody in like some sort of circumstance, but like this is obviously an extreme one. So like I feel like if there's somewhere to go above this person.
Well, the best is like they're not like, should I never serve this guy? It's like, nah, I just don't want him to be drinking while he's got a fucking head cast on. Like once he's fine, he can go back to being drunk and falling down.
Once he can take his oxygen out to drink, that's when I feel happy.
He's requesting an IV tube of vodka, and I don't know if I should give it to him. Yeah. I don't know. That's a fucking super tricky
sucks
situation.
because the whole chain of command thing, and then you don't want to that sucks, dude.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Yeah. But you know what?
Just say if you don't feel comfortable at all, just say no. I guess. I was gonna say, what are the worst they're gonna do? I guess
because
fire
you know what's
you.
gonna happen. They're gonna get off the shift and be like, give me a drink, and then you got to talk about it.
Yeah,
because you have to be honest in this scenario, which sucks. But you have to be really honest. Be like,
it's not the best policy.
And then he's gonna be like, come on, I'm fine. Blah, blah, blah. And then you're gonna go back and forth, and then he'll give you a shitty shift because you didn't serve.
Yeah. Maybe find another job where
that's I would be currently seeking other employment. Right?
You can work until this guy's done. Off the mend.
That sounds like there's a lot more problems going on than.
Or make this guy just wear a helmet while he's there. That's it. If you're trying to go while he's drinking, if you're not looking to change anything, looking for a Band-Aid, fucking give him a helmet.
Is there leeway for a bartender to make some sort of judgment like that? If there's someone that's not that has some sort of neurological problem in general,
you don't have to serve anyone you don't feel comfortable serving.
Yeah,
for any reason.
Like your shirt makes me uncomfortable. No more beers for you.
Yeah.
That's what
there have been a couple instances where there's been customers who have had strokes, but they are functioning, right? Yeah. So like they're still okay. Maybe they didn't drive here. Maybe they walked here. Years and years ago, we had a regular who had a stroke, was gone for a while. But when he came back, we all knew what the problem was. We all knew why he was quiet, why he was whatever. And he wasn't coming in getting fucking shit-faced, but he was coming in to have a couple beers just to get out of the goddamn house. But there's been times where we didn't know that so-and-so has had a stroke in the past. And maybe that's why their speech is a little slurred. Not because they're drunk, but because whatever. And people are like, well, you shouldn't have not served that person. I know that person had a stroke, like whatever, da-da-da. I'm like, first of all, I'm not about to ask their medical history in order for me to serve the beer to them. So if I just don't feel comfortable doing that, I'm not going to do it. Like, if it's a neurological thing, that's you don't know their history. Like, no one's showing up to the bar and be like, here's my medical record. Yeah. Like, if you just don't feel right, literally, they're like, I just got out of the hospital. I need a beer. Yeah, like.
Oh, I've had the hospital bracelet still on. We're not open yet.
But I had a guy tell me to call him an ambulance because he just got let go from an ambulance and he was playing the whole.
He needed a ride.
He needed a place to stay.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So the
ambulance Uber.
They're like, oh, you again? Like they know him.
Yeah.
Very
well. God.
And they were like, we just can let you go, blah blah. And he wanted to go to Brockton Hospital because he just got let go of Good Samaritan Hospital, which is down the street from the bar. So he got let go, came in our place, said he didn't feel well, and I was like, no, you need to take me to Brockton. He goes, I'm not taking you to Brockton. I'll take you to. He goes, well, I just left there. He goes, oh, so you need a ride because blah blah blah. And he was like, oh yeah, blah blah.
Oh my god.
He's like, we get people like this guy all the time.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a tough one. If it's a customer, it's one thing. It's a manager, that's a tough.
Yeah, that's where things are way
that's
worse.
Where maybe you have another manager.
If it's a customer,
right,
if you're a customer and you're a grown man or a grown woman, and you say I want a drink, I'm not gonna, and you had some kind of physical ailment, you're making that decision. And if you're not drunk, then I'll serve you. But like, it's kind of.
But it's hard to know if they are or they aren't. Like, you know.
That could be. Not to be like morbid.
Yeah.
But that could be all they got.
Yeah, dude. We get a lot of those people in town. We all know who they are. Like
when you work those day shifts.
Oh yeah.
I just need a drink, dude. I just need a drink.
I'm not gonna call somebody out, but it's somebody that we haven't mentioned on the podcast in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll call him. No.
I was gonna say, you know what I'm talking about.
One of the most awkward cutoff stories I've had, and it's not that awkward, but it was funny, is I cut this guy off. Like, he walked in, he was fucked up. Like, he was drunk, but he could barely walk. And all that. I was like, dude, I can't serve you. I'm like, you're drunk. I'm like, you can't walk. He's like, bro, I only have one leg. And he took off his prosthetic leg. I was like, well, you're still drunk. I'm not serving you.
You filled up his prosthetic.
Yeah, exactly. Here, take
He's like, I brought my own. It's like, you're a fucking asshole. I'm like, you are correct.
I took my leg off. Like, what does that even do? Like, what does that accomplish?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
With that, I think we have to end on last call.
Ah, damn.
So, as we know, the bar where we go around, we get to plug whatever we want. So I'm going to start with Joe. And again, I don't know when this is going up.
Just giving an open timeline. Well, you were wrong. Yeah.
No last call. This was fun, guys. That was a great time. This is cool.
Cool.
Thank you, Vic. How about you?
Hell yeah, man.
What do you got, Jess?
It's good to have somebody actually funny on here.
Me and Jessica
I know,
carrying the show.
We are carrying the team these last few. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, just January is a hard month for a lot of local businesses because everybody's trying to pay their
fucking February, Jess.
January and February. So go just support your local shops, your local restaurants, your local musicians, your local breweries. Just do everything local because everyone's paying off their credit card bills, and so like
pay for Christmas.
Yeah. So like, try and get out there, even if your financial situation's allowed to. Go local, because these next couple months are going to be tough. And then St. Patrick's Day comes along, and everyone's just getting back into the spirit of drinking. So
right, 67 days, 14 hours, and 13 minutes.
See? I don't know if that's actually accurate, but we'll say it is.
So I'm not doing the math check.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not doing the math.
What do you got, Dan?
So I need to bring awareness to a situation.
Oh boy.
There's this video on the internet right now of a guy that found a giant on a mountain and posted the videos, and then he disappeared because the government took him.
The giant?
Stop.
No, the person that
The
found
man
the
that
giant.
saw it. Yeah. What rabbit hole are
Dude,
you going down?
Like,
Part of me really wants to see his search history, and the other part of me really.
Dude,
I
really don't.
I don't find these videos; they find me. So that's how you know they're real.
I don't know about that.
That's how algorithms work.
Yeah, right, yeah. Next thing you know, you're going to be in...
end with like 80s wrestling promo.
That's it.
80s, 90s wrestling.
I was gonna say this sounds like you're gonna go down the rabbit hole of like QAnon, and all of a sudden we're gonna just have Dan Mahoney's
those
being
goddamn lizard
conspiracy,
people.
Illuminati. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
Next thing we know, he'll be working across the street.
Who knows?
I don't know if they
might
work. I
already
think
be
it's
there.
volunteering.
TikTok is feeding me all like these interviews of people that are like working on like Jupiter and all this shit. Now. It's
What?
bizarre.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Jesus.
All right, so I am gonna plug.
Save the Giants.
Hashtag Save the Giants.
No, save the man that saw the Giants.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Do
fuck
something to the
that guy.
Giants. I don't know.
So I'm going to plug the Bar and Restaurant Expo in Las Vegas, March 27th through 29th.
Holla.
The Bar Talk podcast will be there recording with myself, Dan Mahoney.
And maybe whoever else
Carl
fucking shows up.
It might be on a Monday. I don't know if you can make it. But it'll be a lot of fun. We had a great time last time. And so there'll be an episode about that. And we will email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com and follow us on all the social medias at bartalkcast. And we'll see you next time.
Woohoo!
Peace.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.